Well, let us know any more questions. Yauhan, what would you say some best practices are for after the interview?
Yeah, so just two best practices with regards to after the interview. So after the interview, you definitely want to follow up. So actually, just before the interview is done, you want to ask them, so what are the next steps in the process, right? And or you can ask them, when can I expect to hear back from you, and what are the next steps with regards to that, right? You always within 24 hours, you want to send them a thank you note. And this is not a thank you note that is a template version of something you find on Google.
Mm-hmm.
Be very, very specific with your thank you note. And there are three things you want to say in your thank you note. Well, first off, you want to thank them, right? You want to express your gratitude. You want to thank them for their time, for their interview, and all of that. The second is you want to pick one or two things from the interview that either you had a great discussion on and you would like to continue that discussion, or something that really interested you about what the interviewer said, and you want to hone in on that, right? So in our discussion today, we spoke about the ATS system that you use. I am super eager to be using that ATS system again because that's my favorite one. Or in the interview today, we heard about your strategy for 2024. I am super excited and looking to contribute my digital skills to grow company in the new year, right? So say one or two things that really resonated with you, and then you want to end off by just again, just a note of gratitude and asking them, right, when can I expect to hear back from you, and eagerly awaiting to join the team and add a lot of value to the team. The other thing I would say, in addition to sending a thank you note, is following up, right? Recruiters, hiring manager get a lot of messages, right? So if you don't hear back within, I would say, 5 business days of you sending the thank you note, send them a follow up. Say, just checking in to see, if you have an update for me on my candidacy. I'm still very interested, and eagerly awaiting to be a part of your organization. So those would be kind of like my two best practices.
Yeah, and I think from that, after that check-in after the 5 business days, I would potentially wait 2 more weeks and then maybe send one last one.
Yeah.
I know sometimes we leave and we feel like this is the job. It went so good. And you're just like waiting on pins and needles. And you want to become like a stage 5 clinger. Like you just want to like climb into their office and live there until you get the offer because you're like sure it's going to happen. I like to think about it like a bag of popcorn that we put in the microwave. You wanting to email or follow up through phone constantly. It's like you opening the door constantly and then popcorn never pops. Where like sometimes you just need to let the magic happen and keep the door closed and let that popcorn pop, because that's what they are doing. Like they are having the conversations, they are continuing with interviews. You constantly like poking your head in starts to get annoying. As someone who has been annoyed. So, and the last thing you want is the recruiter or the hiring manager. The hiring manager is going to say is the yes person. The recruiter is your advocate. You don't want to annoy them because maybe they'll still hire you, but they definitely will lowball offer you then. And we don't want a lowball offer.